And it's a huge pleasure for me to be joined by the seed number 1 of the Women's World Cup, Lei Tingjie. Lei Tingjie, first of all, thank you for coming to the media center and help us understand your thought process. A fine performance. But before we go into the game, it's your first game here in Batumi. You've been here before. How do you feel about the tournament and your expectations in this event?
Okay, I think last time I played World Cup almost like 7 years ago. And also last time I played in Batumi also 7 years ago. So for me, I think Batumi is like the memorable place for me. So this time I played the World Cup, my goal is like try to play more and more rounds. So for me, okay, generally I want to qualify on the candidates from this tournament, but I think just try my best to do every stake.
So today was the first game of a match of 2, and you are actually facing a very strong and young player from Argentina, Guecamburu Francisco. What were your thoughts going into the game against such a young but prepared opponent?
I think she's quite talented because I saw she won World Junior, like I think 2 years ago, and I saw she is not like, I think she's a difficult opponent, especially for first round. But for me, my strategy just try to play solid and trying to find the chances and to break through.
Well, definitely today, you did do a breakthrough on her king side, and I think we can pick up the game around the moment when you started to launch an attack on her king side.
Yeah, when I play H4, actually it's very funny because this game I played World Rapid in New York. Exactly the first game I played against some Bulgarian chess player called Tanchilo, I think. And exactly the same position. That's why when I reached to this position, I was quite satisfied because generally it's exactly the same. I remember the game I played H4 and my opponent played A4 and later on messed up. But generally I know the evaluation of the computer. So when I reached this position, I was quite happy. And later on she played Rook A8 and I played H5 and E5, and I thought maybe H5 is played too fast, and I think maybe I can play something else. But generally, I think a position is better for me. And then Rook E3, I think is quite logical. But when she played F5, I realized she's gonna play F5, but I think maybe it was a mistake for whole game because it's too dangerous for Black's king. And later on, she played F5, and I took A4, and the GH King H8, and the Rook H3. When I think about this position, I think maybe it's completely winning for me. But okay, when I saw the computer, maybe it's not. But I think for practical game, I think it's very hard to Black.
I was following the game on and off, of course, because there were other games. And when I saw this position, actually, I remembered a very old game, one of those Blackburn's weird games with the pawn A7. I did think this was a very good position for you, although the computer wasn't giving you a huge advantage. But your thoughts in the game were that you were much better here.
Yeah, and I think somehow I can play C5 some point and break through. And also the D6 is weakness for the Black, and also H7 pawn like limited a lot of pieces from Black, so I think it's very hard for Black.
Practical in terms, it should be winning, yeah?
And later on, I saw this knight takes e4. Yeah, I saw knight takes e4. Maybe it's not necessary to take because generally the position is quite close. Maybe she can try something else, but I should
There should be a way.
Yeah, so she take, and I took it back, and the rook h6 and king g7. And here I saw there's h8, and she can took it. Maybe there's a rook h6 and rook take t6, queen e5. Later on, I saw, not later on, because when I play rook h6, I already saw rook e6 c5 idea. So I was wondering, why should I take this kind of risk? I just play rook e6, and maybe it's like totally winning for me. And yeah, rook e6 and king f7 and c5, I think she was completely lost.
Show us the c5 idea, because I was very impressed when I saw the c5 idea on the board.
No, I think a c5, yeah, it looks nice, but generally there is only one piece is not in the board, so this white bishop. So I play c5 and free this bishop and yeah.
Can we see it on the board so that the view?
Yeah, king f7 and c5 and queen c5 and bishop c4. And yeah, I think then queen e2 and later on this combination for white actually looks quite interesting.
Yeah, let's see how the game finishes, and so the viewers can...
King g7 and queen e2, bishop f5 and rook e7, king f6, rook e7. And I think no matter black to play what, and I'm gonna play queen h5 for next move. And queen c8 and queen h5, yeah. And queen b7, queen h6, and king e7, there's queen g7, and bishop g6, and there's a rook e6.
And here the key is that the rook on f8 is hanging, and if not, you're winning the queen, and more or less you resigned at this moment, no?
Yes.
Did you have any words after the game? I didn't see it from below, but did you comment any variation, or was there any talk between yourselves after the game?
No, generally, I think she also, didn't know what to do during the game. And yeah, but for the first game, generally I play quite bad for first game, like a lot of tournament. But today's game, I think it's good.
I would say it was a very good performance today.
Yeah, so I think it's a good start. Hopefully tomorrow I can be better.
Lei Tingjie, a fantastic game for her first of the two-game match. And tomorrow she will play the second game with the black pieces against Francisco. Thank you, Lei.
Thank you.